Good morning, everyone. Before we formally begin the session, minor request, please either switch off your phones or put it on silent mode. Let me check mine. It is also on silent. So please, we have gathered for one very good occasion. Let's focus on it. So please, without much ado, let me start. Welcome to the School of Business, RD University. My name is Dr. Priyanka Suresh, and I'm delighted to be your host for the inauguration of the first edition of Annual International Research Conference 2024. The theme of the conference this year is Sustaining Business Growth, Use of Emerging Technologies. We are thrilled to have you all here today to engage and share in the latest research and ideas. We have the honor of having Professor N.R. Bhanumurthy, Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar School of Economics University, Dr. Y.S.R. Murthy, Vice Chancellor, RD University, Dr. Sahana D. Gora, Registrar, RD University, Dr. Diganta, Academic Affairs Head, Dr. Sanjay Chitnis, Dean, School of Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Priya Nair, Dean, SOLAS. Dr. Anurag C, Dean, School of Design. And Dr. Subhashri Natarajan, Dean, School of Business, RP University. Thank you so much for being with us today. To invoke the divine blessings of Lord Ganesha and ensure the successful completion of this event, I would like to invite Mr. Aditya, sixth semester student from our BBA program, to lead us in prayer.
योगी मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा योगी मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा कालरी पालुका भैयली दंडा बालरविय कळया योगी मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा मस्तकदली जटे शोभिसुगंधि कस्तूरी तिलक चंदनानि काषायाम्बरदा काषायाम्बरदा योगी मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा आलि पालुका हरियली दंडा बालरविय कळया योगी मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा श्री गुरुदेव मन के बंदा
Thank you, Aditya, for leading us in this beautiful prayer. May Lord Ganesha's blessings be with us throughout this event. It is now my honor to invite Dr. Subhashri Natarajan, Dean of our School of Business, to deliver the welcome address. Dr. Natarajan holds a PhD in Business Administration with a specialization in Strategic Marketing. She is also certified in Analytics and Computing by a distinguished list of institutions like IBM, Bangalore, and UCLA. Prior to her role as the Dean, Dr. Natarajan has a proven track record in both corporate and academic worlds. Dr. Natarajan is a highly respected researcher with over 30 scholarly articles published in reputable journals. Her contributions extend beyond academia with a patent co-developed with industry, 3 government grants from research and training, and the development of 5 management development programs. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Subhashri Natarajan for delivering the welcome.
Welcome to RT University. The delegates who have joined the other two and those who have joined in the online mode, a very warm welcome to you all. Thank you, Aditya, for invoking the blessings of God. We are here to start the first edition of the annual International Research Conference on a very, very well thought theme: sustaining business growth using emerging technologies. I, on behalf of RD Trust, our leadership team, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Respected Registrar, Professors, Deans, Directors, students of School of Business, extend a very warm welcome to our chief guest, the inauguration, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Dr. Ambedkar School of Economics, Professor Dr. N.R. Valmoshi. So, welcome. welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. YSR Murthy, sir. So thanks for being our big support. Welcome our registrar. Thanks, ma'am, for being here. Our session chair for today, Professor Dr. Gopal V. Professor Dr. Gopal V was joined us online from IIM Trichy. Sir, thank you so much for being with us. I would also like to extend my warm welcome to the guest to be for tomorrow. We have Professor Dr. D.P. Subramanian from IISc. We will be having the session chairs from Northwest University, South Africa, Dr. Ankit Katoria and Dr. Venkatesh Kumar from Pondicherry Central University. So, a very warm welcome to you all. I would also like to thank the conference collaborator, TPU Thailand, the academic partner ISD, who has sponsored some of the collaterals here. Coming on to the conference, and a few details about the conference, we have curated about 51 papers for the presentation. These papers are very scholarly. Some of them are from the industry. Over about 4 papers are from industry. Well thought, well researched papers from the professors, from research scholars, and a few papers from the student community also. So this is the first event, this is the first edition of this particular conference. We are confident that it will go a long way, bringing together the best brains to discuss about very pressing problems. To quickly talk about the School of Business, to those who don't know about this, we started in 2021. We offer 2 programs currently, BBA and BCom Honors, as per MEP 2020. We would be adding few more branches in BBA and BCom, and we would be introducing MBA program in a highly specialized areas like sustainability and strategy, in global financial markets, and in the cutting edge areas like artificial intelligence and data science. To talk about my team, the entire conference was convened by 2 young faculty members, but then supported by all the people. It's a very collegiate environment. Every one of them shouldered the responsibility, which I'm very proud of. So it's a nice place to be in. And these 2 days, I'm sure that there will be a lot of exchange of thoughts, a lot of discussion about the rigor that is there in the research, new ideas may bloomed. You may find good research collaborators with whom you can establish a long-term contact very professionally. And we are very happy to create this platform for you so that we would continue in our scholarly work. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you here and wish you all the very best.
Thank you, madam. I'm privileged to invite our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. YSR Murthy, to deliver his opening remarks. Professor Murthy is a highly respected leader in the academic community and has nearly 4 decades of rich and varied experience in the academia, civil service, media, autonomous statutory bodies, and non-governmental organizations at both national and international levels. He is a passionate institution builder, educator, and is deeply interested in human rights related issues. He is the founding Vice Chancellor of RV University, Bangalore, and also the founding Dean of School of Law. Prior to it, he worked as a founding faculty member and the registrar of O.P. Jindal Global University, Sonipat, for 11 years between 2009 and 2020, and contributed to its rapid growth. He also held many responsible positions in the National Human Rights Commission, Ministry of Finance, Prime Minister's Office, President Secretariat, and Cabinet Secretariat. He holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in statistics from the University of Madras, MA degree in human rights from University of London, and PhD degree from Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, Chennai. He secured university first rank in MSc and is a recipient of prestigious British Turing Fellowship. He is the recipient of Chanakya National Award 2023 for Excellence in Education instituted by the Public Relations Council of India and is also the recipient of the Bangalore Management Association Education Excellence Award 2023 along with several other awards. Professor Murthy's dynamic leadership has been instrumental in the phenomenal growth of RV University in a short span of 3 years. From 3 schools in 2021, RV University has moved to 7 schools now. The university now offers more than 60 plus programs and the student strength is expected to cross 4,000 in the coming academic year. RV University boasts of 22 cutting-edge research centers and has more than 65 international collaborations across USA, UK, Europe, Asia, and Africa, all under the dynamic leadership of Professor Murthy. Professor Murthy's dedication, vision, and unwavering commitment towards the progressive growth of RVU continues to be our inspiration. It's an honor to have you amongst us, sir. I request Professor Murthy to deliver his opening remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Priyanka. The outset, I wish to extend a warm welcome to our keynote speaker this morning, Professor Murthy, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ambedkar School of Economics, University, and also to my colleagues, Dean of Business, and Dean of various other schools, and also registrar, faculty members, and students, and those who are participating virtually from a few of our partners, ISBC, and also India, Pudit University, Thailand, and we are proud of our collaboration with these two partners and jointly hosting this conference. Research is extremely critical, and when we were starting this university, we consciously embraced the model of a teaching come research university model. We want teaching to influence research and research to influence teaching, and we want all the schools to involve students in research activities right from undergraduate level onwards, starting from 2 research centers in 2021. We currently have about 22 research centers. We want these research centers to take up cutting-edge research and be the forefront of knowledge creation. And I want to compliment the School of Business and in particular Dean Dr. Subhashri for organizing this first edition of this annual research conference. It is at the day, big journey starts with small steps, and so this virtual started is extremely critical as people present their papers and students get ideas, faculty members get ideas, and the publications will also earn a lot of reputation for the university. And the presence of the deans of different schools here in this room gives me very a lot of confidence that we are on the right path. And the interdisciplinarity is extremely critical. There are many things which are at the intersection of business, computer science, or business law, or business and design. So at the sometimes departments and schools end up with their silos and they don't talk to each other. But the presence of deans from different schools, faculty members from the School of Economics and other schools gives me a lot of confidence about the future interdisciplinary efforts, interdisciplinary research, interdisciplinary projects, interdisciplinary research at our university. And I hope to see that the times will come. And we pride ourselves on the vibrant academic environment at our campus. So far, in our short span of less than 3 years, we have hosted 4 Raman Magsaysay Award winners, 3 board scholars, more than 20 CXOs who visited our university, delivered talks, and then in addition, about 500 odd academic events, and we want to deepen that vibrant academic environment further. And but when I moved to Bangalore after 35 years stint in Delhi, I was introduced to Professor Bhanumurthy, my IAS officer, senior IAS officer, was a common friend, and I had been in touch with Professor Bhanumurthy ever since, and I had been following his work in the newspapers, his reactions on most budget and many other occasions. And I had invited him on a couple of occasions to visit us and to address our faculty members. Once was on the occasion of the Teachers' Day. We wanted him to deliver a distinguished public lecture on the occasion of Teachers' Day. Second was when we organized a C20 event in collaboration with Gram. Again, both me and Gram reached out to him, but because of this busy schedule, he could not make it. But we are so glad that he finally found time and he could make it. And as you know, Ambedkar School of Economics University is in our neighborhood, maybe barely about 6 kilometers from here, and established by the government of Karnataka, and with a great deal of potential. And so we are looking forward for close collaborations with the universities in our neighborhood. There are synergies, and when we talk to each other, when we work together, this collaborative research can lead to a lot of win-win situation for both the institution. And in fact, I want to make use of this opportunity to propose that we both the institutions sign a agreement of collaboration, and so that there could be a what we call faculty members moving across school institutions and engaging in joint research on other joint endeavors. And with these few words, I want to again extend a warm welcome to all of you, and I hope and wish all your deliberations a success. And I want you to produce a publication at the end of it, and containing all the deliberations, and so that all your deliberations are properly documented. I wish the conference will be successful.
Thank you, sir, for all your wishes and for setting the tone for today's conference. To give us an overview of today's conference, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Mohit Pathak, the conference convener. Dr. Pathak is a PhD in Accounting and Finance and currently leads the undergraduate BCom program at School of Business. His research interests lie in the critical areas of corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, and ESG disclosure practices by corporates. I cordially invite Dr. Pathak to enlighten us with the purpose and goals of this international conference.
Thank you very much. Dr. Bhanumurthy, our Chief Guest and Keynote Speaker, Dr. Y.S.R. Murthy, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sahana Digora, our Registrar, Dr. Diganta Chakravarti, our Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Shubhashri Mukherjee, Dean School of Business, Dr. Rukumar, Dean, Associate Dean School of Business, session chairs who are joining us online, deans of other schools, delegates, and professors. A very good morning to all of you. Once again, I warmly welcome you to the first Annual International Research Conference 2024. So in today's ever-evolving and challenging environment, agility is the key to success. Be it universities, business organizations, not-for-profit organizations, every entity has to be adaptive, innovative, and collaborative to succeed. As the convener, I'm glad to inform you that this conference has brought together the academia, industry professionals, and students to collaborate, co-learn, and discuss some of the key problems in nurturing and sustaining business growth using the emerging technologies. We as a school consider it our responsibility to create a platform where diverse voices can come together to tackle pressing issues, explore groundbreaking concepts, and chart the course for a brighter future. The reverse team have curated a lineup of paper presentation exploring emerging technologies to address global sustainability challenges that our business, society, and community are facing today. We are confident that the theme of this conference and its agenda will inspire, educate, and empower each and every one of you. However, beyond the scheduled sessions, I encourage you to take full advantage of networking opportunities available. Some of the most valuable insights and collaborations often arise from informal conversation and exchange of ideas during the day. So I urge you to engage with your fellow attendees, share your experience, and cultivate meaningful connections that extend beyond this conference. As we embark on this collective journey of learning and discovery, let us embrace the importance of respect and inclusivity. Let us embrace the different perspective, challenge assumptions, and dare to think outside the box. Together, we have the power to drive positive change and shape the future we want to see. In closing, I extend my sincerest gratitude to all our speakers, the sponsors, volunteers, and attendees for their invaluable contribution to making this conference a reality. May the next 2 days be filled with inspiration, enlightenment, and fruitful collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pardhav, for outlining what promises to be the most enlightening 2 days. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Jyoti Vidhani, our conference co-convener, to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Vidhani is a PhD in accounting and finance, and her research interests lie in the areas of ESG reporting, sustainability reporting, and IFRS. Welcome, Dr. Vidhani.
Thank you, Dr. Priyanka. On the occasion of Annual International Research Conference 2024, it's my privilege to introduce guest speaker, Professor N.R. Bhanumurthy, who is renowned academician and researcher. He has achieved many accomplishments in the field of economics. He has taken charge as the first Vice Chancellor of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar School of Economics, University, Bangalore. Dr. Bhanumurthy has been the Secretary of the Indian Econometric Society since 2006 and also Managing Trustee of Indian Economic Association Trust for Research and Development since 2010. He has more than 24 years of experience as an academician and researcher. His research areas are macro monetary economics, fiscal policy, international money and finance, macroeconomic modeling, and development economics. In these areas, he has authored over 70 research papers and 5 books. He has also contributed to UNESCAP Bangkok and at UNDP RCC at Colombo as macroeconomist. He was a visiting fellow as MSH Paris Macro University, Montreal and ADB Manila. He has been a consultant of UNDESA New York, UNESCWA Beirut, UNDP Nepal, UNDP Bhutan, UNSCEP ILO, the World Bank and the ADB India. He has served on over 22 government committees constituted by Finance Ministry, Ministry of Statistics, Ministry of Rural Development, National Statistical Commission, Erstwhile Planning Commission, Niti Aayog, RBI, Government of Karnataka, among others. Currently, he is serving on Advisory Committee on Ways and Means Advances to State Government, constituted by RBI, Advisory Committee on National Account Status, constituted by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, High-Level Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation by Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India. He has received 2 prestigious awards, Mahalanobis Memorial Medal, National Award for the year 2014 for his outstanding contribution to the field of quantitative economics in India, and BKRV Rao Prize in Social Sciences Economics for the year 2015 for high quality research and for significant contribution of social science in India. It's an honor to have you amongst us. Please join me in welcoming Professor N.R. Bhanumurthy.
Thank you, Dr. Vidhani, for the introduction. We are honored to have Professor N.R. Bhanumurthy with us today. As a token of our appreciation and respect, I request Dr. Murthy, our Vice Chancellor, to felicitate Professor Bhanumurthy. Thank you so much, Professor Murthy. I now invite Professor Bhanu Murthy to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Y.S.R. Mr. Van, and for other faculty members and this participants. First of all, it's my privilege to be part of this inaugural annual conference, such conference. As Professor Murthy pointed out, with my very long pending disease in this campus, we have been introduced by one of a very distinguished civil servant of Karnataka. And when he realized that two Murthys are going to be Bangalore, from Delhi, both were traveling from Delhi to Bangalore, and also heading two new institutions. So he was only certainly saying that whether these Murthys can manage these two places. And that's the thing he said that, get together and work together and bring these two institutions so that, we can go have good foundations for these universities. I think accidentally we were also wearing almost similar shirts and so I'm not blind. Both these have some commonality and just a accident. Let me again congratulate School of Business for the topic itself is very important, sustaining business growth, use of emerging technologies, especially when you know that Bangalore is burning while Dubai is flooding, right? So you have a completely contrasting world, and I think it's very important for all of us to really talk about how we can have sustainability, whether it is a business, whether it is companies, any other aspects of life. I think sustainability becomes a very important aspect. When I say sustainability, I think we are looking for the long-term strategies. Generally, in classrooms, particularly in BBA or MBA, you don't talk about long-term strategies. You are looking at only the bottom lines of that particular year, right? But we don't look at the long-term bottom lines. So I think in that sense, the conference theme, the sustaining business growth, is very, very important. And as Professor Murthy pointed out, it's very important to really document in one form or other the outcome of this conference so that it is useful for very long-term strategies. When Professor Arun Kumar called me for this conference, I said, as an economist, we don't know anything other than economics. We are very bad group of people. Economists don't really, it's like, you have a horse who's trained. So like that, the economists don't really appreciate anything on economics. So I was a little hesitant whether to accept this invitation. But he also trapped me by saying that, you are leaving the city of Bangalore soon. So why don't you visit us before you leave at least, since it's a very long pending, he said it's like a farewell visit. So, and I forgot to tell you that Arun Kumar is my very distinguished senior from social technology change. I see one more alumnus here. So there are many more alumnus in this RV University. So it's like a good place for access to persons. But I did not know what to speak. But at my university, now that we follow national education policy where we look for a very holistic approach, one thing I tell my students is that economics without accountants is not an economics. You don't understand balance sheet, and then you don't understand economics. Because we completely forget, even in our curriculum also, we were never taught accountancy in our own economics program. But we know that ultimately it is the balance sheet. We talk about government balance sheet, we talk about RBI balance sheet, you talk about demand supply, everything is a balance sheet, right? So what we did was we introduced accountancy paper for my class students of economics. So I think that is the kind of link that I have with accountancy and business. But let me take a slightly different direction when we talk about the topic of sustainable business growth. Uh, we all know, I'm sure all of you read newspaper. This is my common topic whenever I would speak. I assume that as an economist, we assume that all of us read newspaper. I hope that's a good assumption. Yeah, that's a good assumption. Because the faculty don't read newspaper, then you cannot ask a student to read newspaper. So how many of us read newspaper in the morning? You can only count yourself, but I don't want to do that in a seminar. But when you read newspaper, there are so many things happening in the country, other than elections, right? There are so many things happening in the country, there are so many things happening in the world, and we are being termed as, if you look at the global situation, right now we are completely in a very volatile country, right? We know what's happening in Israel, we know what's happening in Ukraine, Russia, and we also know what's happening in China. So, given that kind of situation, whether India can sustain the kind of growth that we are experiencing the past 3-4 years is something that we need to teach in the class. Because when talking about long term, when I say sustainability is a long term concept, whether India can continue to sustain the kind of growth that we are seeing right now, I'm not sure how many of you know that I have said India is a bright spot in a troubled global economy. Okay, this is the sentence that is being said in the latest IMF report. India is a bright spot in a troubled global economy. And when they say that, we need to look at why they are saying and what from here, how we are going to travel is something that we need understand first, and then I think we need to talk to the students. We are the fastest growing large economy in the world. Like for example, right now we're talking about 8% growth. The 7 is given. Anything less than 7, we think is a low GDP growth. So imagine where we have come now. Anything less than 7, we think it's a lower GDP. And for the past 3 years, we are the fastest growing large economy, and it has implications on the businesses. I think that's something that we need to again link. As Professor Murthy pointed out, the synergy between the schools are very important. And when you talk about business on one side, you talk about economics on the other side. I think the synergy between these two schools are very important, and that's where this topic comes in. And can we sustain the kind of 7% growth that we are talking about for the past 3 years? And again, there is something else what Prime Minister is saying, that we have to become third largest economy by 2030, I think. And by 2047, we should become, what is it? What is that saying? Biggest in Bharat. What is biggest in Bharat? Developed country. Okay. So the developed country, we have to become developed country by 2047. So I think given this kind of a long-term objective that we have, and what is that we need to do is something this conference should be really taking. In my view, there are two things that we need to deliberate upon. When we talk about developed country, we talk about GDP growth, we talk about 7% growth and all those things. But ultimately, the macro number that we are looking at has a micro foundation. Okay? When we say micro foundation, we need to look at how we can achieve that developed country status by improving some of the micro factors like human development, micro factors like governance, micro factors like regulatory mechanism. These are all micro concepts. We talk about competition. So all those things actually should become part of the conference deliberation. And when it comes to human development, I think we already have sustainable development goals. When you say sustainable development goals by 2030, I don't know how many of you think that we can really achieve. Somewhere I told you unsustainable development. because by 2030 you cannot achieve. There are many things that is there in the document. But then I've been criticized by saying that no, we have already accepted that we'll achieve by 2030, so we cannot say it's unsustainable. So, but you need to be practical enough to see it and assess the kind of loss that we had because of the COVID-19 for almost 2 years. We have lost that period. Can we still achieve the 2030 goals is something that again we need to address. And in my view, in my own assessment, I don't think we can achieve even 30-40% of sustainable development goals. But I think we need to prioritize, particularly when it comes to sustainable development goals, we need to prioritize what exactly we need to achieve first and what we can really, can achieve after 2030. In fact, right now, there's so much of discussion on ESG. I see a lot of papers on environmental sustainability, the governance and all these things. But again, the three words don't go together. Okay? In fact, many of my meetings with SEBI and other places, I keep saying that there are a lot of papers talk about when company gets into ESG framework, what is its impact on the profitability in that particular year. ESG is not meant for that particular year's profitability. ESG is meant for the long-term sustainability. Okay? I think this is where there are some papers that are talking about ESG and profitability, even in this conference also. But I think one needs to be very clear. ESG is not meant for looking at profitability in that particular year for the next year also. It is more about how we can sustain the business. So I think again the whole ESG concept is not really understood much in not only here. I think I'm talking about. I told you about even in SEBI meetings. We see there are some misunderstanding about how this ESG concept can be assessed. So I think ESG is one thing that becomes a very main aspect of this conference, and I request all of you to be a little more careful when we talk about ESG. And I don't know whether you have seen one the London Economist. London Economist cover page. ESG they have put up. They cut E. That there is a scissor between E and S. So that is the extent of disconnect between these three letters. To say that they don't really go well. I mean they cannot go together. I think that is the kind of the discussion that we should have in this kind of conferences. As far as India is concerned, I really don't have doubt to say that we'll become third largest economy by 2030, or maybe we'll become second largest economy by 2050. I think Morgan Stanley or one of them have estimated that India becomes the second largest economy in the world by 2050, and above us it's only China. Below us was United States of America. So can you believe that you are going to cross United States of America within 25 years or 30 years? So I think that this kind of assessment which is being quoted in the business community is something like a fraud. That particular table could not become very popular for a simple reason. We know that why it has not become very popular. The table which Morgan Stanley has built, and China is the first, India would be the second largest economy. You know the reason? If you look at the same table, there is one country at the 6th place. Can you predict which is the country in the 6th place? Pakistan. If Pakistan can come to 6th place, what is the doubt in India becoming the second place, right? So I think this whole 5th largest economy, 3rd largest economy, if you look at it, in my view, somewhere I told it, it's more of the Excel-based analysis. If you are growing at a nominal GDP growth of 12% or 30%, and you will actually cross everybody, right? It's a simple Excel-based analysis without even understanding what is happening in the economy. Now, if you have inflation of 20%, And if you have a growth of 2% or 3%, you will cross everybody within 20 years. Is that what we need? And how India is still struggling with this kind of thing, fifth largest economy, fourth largest economy, third largest economy. These are all in nominal terms. Pakistan will also come to that. So if you drag that externals to 2100, Pakistan would be the topmost economy in the world. But is that what we are looking for? So I think as the academic profession, I think we need to really dissect all this issue, and that's why when I started saying we need to read newspaper first before we talk about how we can relate this textbook concepts to the reality. I actually failed in, motivating my own faculty and my students to read newspapers. So I have a failure in that sense. But and then I keep saying that we don't talk about Indian economy without reading newspaper. When you ask what is the paper you can read, everybody will say Indian economy. But Indian economy, when did you read the newspaper last? There is a tell you thinking at when was the last time they read it. I said that you are not fit to read Indian economy. So the point I'm trying to say is that I think more than economists, it is the media business people. I think they need to read not only one newspaper. I think at least they should read 5 newspapers a day. Okay, at least 5 magazines in a week. Otherwise, I don't think we should go to class. Okay. So that is my. I'm sorry to say that, but I think that's how one can inspire students. But I keep telling the students also, you should ask teachers what happened with that particular day newspaper. It's other way around. There are students who are here, so I keep telling my students, you should ask some questions from the newspaper that particular day to your teacher. It's the other way around. So then only I think the student faculty will be able to help students to really understand. When they go for placements, you simply ask what is India's GDP growth, they will be staring. Then what economic students are you? For that matter, business, anybody for that matter. We talk about BBS students, if they don't understand what Indian economy is performing, then I think it's lost. So I think the reason why I keep telling is people believe this kind of statements. Third largest economy. Don't understand how is this third largest economy India has become. So with an inflation of 10% and a GDP growth of 5%, any country will overtake any advanced economies. So advanced economies are growing nominal GDP of 3% or 4%. And we are growing at 1% nominal. At any rate, we will cross every year. So I think that is not what we are looking at, and what we are actually looking at. I started by saying that growth is a micro concept. So whether this growth that we're talking about, third largest economy, is actually being supported by the micro concepts like human development or productivity for that matter. Now we need to compare with China. Why China is the fastest growing economy for almost 30 years. One factor that really led to China's growth for 3 decades is the productivity, which is the micro concept. So if you want to really sustain the kind of growth that we have, I think we need to focus more on micro aspects like human development and productivity. And here, there are some good news that's coming from India. If you look at RBI's, there is a continuous study that happens in the RBI, Reserve Bank of India. I urge all of you to tell the students to look at RBI site at least once in a month, because there are so many things that happen. Only best institution left in this country right now is Reserve Bank of India. Okay, only best. I'm not saying there is a second one. So that's the only best institute in this country, day in and day out, protect your business or economy, is the Reserve Bank of India. They are like Indian Army for us. Indian Army protects from your physical security, but Reserve Bank of India protects you from the financial security. So very few people understand that Reserve Bank as an institution, day in and day out, protect your Indian businesses. Okay. Now, if you talk to business community, they would have not even seen the RBI website anytime in their life. Okay. Now they only worried about RBI is reducing interest rate or not. Okay, they'll reduce the interest rate, but they cannot protect you. Then what is the issue? What is the point of having reserve bank? So I think this is being run by business community. So I'm telling that. So Reserve Bank is the only institution and only research institution doing day in and day out research also. I'm not talking about Delhi School of Economics, I'm not saying IGIDR. There is no institute in this country which does day in and day out research very silently and protecting the Indian economy. In fact, if you look at last 20 years, there are so many shocks that global economy has faced. Okay, and India has not faced that many shocks. And if you look at even the COVID-19, you would have seen more of RBI government, less of finance minister. I don't know. Again, I hope all of us read newspaper, that may assumption, and we also watch news, right? So if you look at, you would have seen more of Mr. Shaktikan Das coming to the media, talking about what is that scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? There are so many incentives that are being given to businesses, and I think done by Reserve Bank. Your Atmanirbhar Bharat 30 lakh crore, 30 lakh 30 lakh crore package. Out of the 18 lakh crore is actually coming from Reserve Bank. So that is one of the reasons why India became a bright spot in a troubled world. It's not because of the political point. It is more about the Reserve Bank. So I think we need to at least look at RBI side at least once in a while. And the reason why I'm telling is there's a huge news that is coming from the RBI research. There is something called CLEMS project, KLEMS, capital, labor, energy, material, and services. We talk about businesses, we look at inputs, right? Factors of production. We talk about only capital, labor, land, labor, and capital. But actually, what RBI is doing is they broaden these four factors of production: input, capital, labor, energy, material, and services. It's called CLEMS project. So this is being done by RBI for almost years, and it's also part of the global CLEMS project. And that project is actually saying for the past 3 years, productivity growth in India is much higher than the productivity growth of China. So I think this is a important findings, and I think this is important information to suggest that micro foundations of the growth process that we are looking at is actually working in our favor to actually overtake many other countries, not just in the nominal terms, but actually in real terms. So when you look at GDP growth in the past 3 years, it's actually been driven by the productivity growth. Okay? And I think that is the micro foundation that we are looking at. In terms of how India is going to achieve this that Vikasit Bharat, only one small point I'll tell and I'll stop there. And actually Niti Aayog and many of us have been doing this work for the past 2 years to look at how India can achieve the developed nation status by 2047. And it's more of a back calculation. I'm not talking about simple Excel growth, but Excel growth will tell you that if you grow at 10%, you will achieve the advanced country status. But we need, as an economist, a professional, we need to tell that how India can achieve consistently 10% growth for the next 25 years. And for that, I think we need to have our own assessment. And one of the assessments that we have done was if you can increase the share of manufacturing sector. Right now, the manufacturing sector share in the overall GDP is about 60%. So if you want to achieve the Vikasit Bharat status, you need to see that the share of manufacturing sector will go to 25%. That is one indicator that we can really look at how we can. Now, we have done the assessment that we have to increase the share of manufacturing to 25%. But I think, again, some more assessment has to happen. How can we increase the share of manufacturing sector 20%? And again, we need to look at what determines the share of manufacturing sector. So there we try to look at, I mean, again, it's not a rocket science. I think we have been talking about it for quite some time. We found that, there are many other micro issues like, land, labor market forms, land market forms. All those things are actually very important to really increase the share of manufacturing. The service sector share is right now 64%. Because service sector doesn't need that level of factors. Like land, you don't need that level of resources to improve service sector. Right now, we are talking about working from home, right? When you look at service sector, you don't need offices, right? A lot of people are actually working from home. But when it comes to manufacturing sector, there is a need for other factors of production, and I think those are the areas where we need to do a little more research to understand your complex theme of sustaining business. Otherwise, we might grow for 1-2 years, but we can't grow for exponential. So I think with that, let me stop here. I don't want to bore much, but to say that this is a very important topic. But I think we need to. My own concern is that there are many concepts that we talk about in Indian context. I think it needs more deeper analysis. And as I said, one of the aspects is about ESG. ESG is the most misunderstood subject in this country. Okay. So in that sense, we are not able to understand what is meant by sustainability. Because I don't work on ESG, but I will look at, to understand a little bit more, I can tell you that we are actually taking it in a very wrong direction. I think that's where my concern, and it's been happening everywhere. That is my much more concern. And maybe we are trying to pull the economy back by talking about ESG and all. With that, let me stop here. And again, I wish the conference a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bhanumurthy, for that thought-provoking and compelling address. We'll definitely try to look into your suggestions and will incorporate it, and we might even reach out to you and your school for further guidance. So we will now proceed to unveil the digital conference booklet, the Book of Abstracts. I request the chief guest, Professor Bhanumurthy, to digitally release the same. Professor, we would request you to please click on the pointer so that the book can be released.
This is one of the emerging technologies.
Yeah, the point, the right hand side button you can just.
Pressing something, pressing something.
Thank you so much. Thank you, distinguished guests. The booklet is now officially released. To extend our gratitude, I request Dr. A.V. Arun Kumar, Professor and Associate Dean, School of Business, RV University, to deliver the vote of thanks. Professor.
Thank you, Priyanka. So it has been a very exciting inaugural session. I use this opportunity to thank all the dignitaries here. So meanwhile, I'm very sure that some of the issues that has been raised by our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Professor Bhanumurthy has been an authority on many of the development related and finance related issues will be discussed during the course of these 2 days. So to begin with, I express my gratitude to our guest of honor today, Bhanumurthy sir, for making available his presence. Despite his very busy schedules, he has got a very, very tight schedule. We have been after him for quite some time to visit us. Though we are so close by, yet we are very far. So ultimately it has happened, and we know that you have got a lot of academic and administrative commitments. Despite that, you are here, and you have also highlighted during your inaugural remarks some of the very critical points that has got direct impact on sustaining business growth. What is the microeconomic implications of these macro decisions? Business on the one side, through chatbots, through various technology platforms, it facilitates the business to run. But it will make the business more personalized. It will make the business innovation oriented. But at the same time, a highly corporate method like ours. What are the implications to in the global market, for example, whether we can sustain it? What are the implications, as you are rightly mentioned, on India's related to ESG? So each and every aspect will be provoking a lot of thought. And as you rightly highlighted, I'm very hopeful that next 2 days will be exciting for each and every one of gathered here to discuss and debate some of the issues that has been mentioned here. So thank you very much once again for being here. Thank you very much. And our Vice Chancellor, Professor Y.S.R. Murthy, who has been the visionary behind such a fast growth of RV University. He always believes that research orientation is fundamental to the growth of the university, and research and teaching must go hand in hand. Who has been the inspiration for all of us to host, take up, and collaborate research work across. We thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance and support all the time. We do available all the time. I also thank our registrar who has been supporting, despite our buildings are coming up. With all the constraints, he has been supporting us to organize this conference within all the limitations. So thank you, madam, for making available. I know that madam was not here. Only for this conference, she has made available to be here. And our dean, Professor Natarajan, who has been insisting from the day one. Let us do couple of conferences everywhere. So last year we have done a conference in collaboration with the IIHS. That is on just financing strategies for basically from the perspective of the green financing. So this year we are now going to sustaining business through technology. So as you rightly mentioned, all of them are getting towards sustainability, environment. I think that we're all setting a direction for our future debates. I also thank the deans of other schools. They're all here and their presence have been really encouraging to us. I also thank the session chairs who have been listening to this conversation from outside. Thank you all the session chairs and delegates who have been observing this inaugural function from others, my faculty colleagues. They have been day in and day out working on reviewing papers, sharing comments. We got large number of papers, and we have put together this conference through the effort of last 3 to 4 months. So they have been working round the clock to support to make this happen. Our students, volunteer students, so I'm hoping that we will be having an exciting day. Thank you, each and every one of you being here. Thank you very much. And communication team, they have been, yes, communication team has now day and night working by 24 hours. So, admin department, so everybody, so we'll have a very elaborate developments coming up. So I'm here to restrict this small concluding remark with this observation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Arun, for your well said and thoughtful words. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now take a short break. Refreshments are served in the basement of the admin block. Please take this opportunity to connect. We will reconvene at this very place in another 20 minutes. Thank you so much.
Next session.
So when we reconvene, we'll start with track 1. And 12:35. Okay, we'll reconvene at 12:35. Thank you so much.
Let's see the schedule. It's very clear.
Yeah, so the next. Copy is announced, so that we. Yeah, so that is. So the draft starts at 12:35. So, those who are physically present here, they can utilize this time to connect and, network. And all of you who are online, please join back by 12:30 so that we can start the session on time. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Ready here. Like any the challenge. For next.
Hospitality.
Yeah, let me make it.
Yes.
Yes, you want to.